Today I went to the doctors to collect my blood test results and find out whether I have conquered my diabetes. In this video I'll tell you what happened, what the doctor said and what it means for you if you're having the same battle as me. And if you stick around to the end, you'll get to hear some very important extra information. Welcome to the Liz Skatz channel. Hi, I'm Skatz and I'm a musician that has type 2 diabetes. Or have I? Together with my holistic therapist wife Liz, we've been trying to beat the symptoms of my diabetes with a keto and fasting lifestyle so we can become more healthy and grow old together disgracefully. Along the way, we want to help you improve your health too. So help us to help you by doing this. Subscribe, and click on the bell. Hello, Keto Bonitos and fabulous fasting friends. 2 weeks ago, I had my blood taken and sent off for testing, and I've been waiting with bated breath for the results. And here they are. Beep! Now, I also have a printout of the results from my previous blood test in December last year so that I could compare them. And there are lots of different readings on here of everything from fasting glucose and A1C to cholesterol and vitamin D and iron and thyroid levels and lots more. But the important ones for today are, number one, fasting glucose. Now this tells you your blood sugar reading after an overnight fast. And my reading on this one back in December was really high. It was 9.5 millimoles per litre, when it should really be 5.9 or below. In the UK they say 5.6 or below. It was after I got that really high reading of 9.5 that the doctor prescribed the metformin medication, which gave me the really bad side effects, if you remember, and set me off on this journey to beat diabetes. The other important reading, actually the really big one I think, is my A1C, or HbA1c is the full title. This is basically an average of the last 3 months of blood sugar and how your body is dealing with it. In December that reading was 59 millimoles per mole. I think that's how you say it. The normal range for that one is between 20 and 42. One other reading we're going to look at briefly before I reveal today's blood glucose readings is cholesterol, and that's the triglycerides, the HDL and the LDL readings. Now, there's been a lot of argument in the medical community about the importance or not of cholesterol levels. One thing is for certain, and that is that your cholesterol readings can tell you a lot about your health and how your body is responding to your diet, along with all of the other readings, which is why I wanted to tell you my results for that and what my doctor said about them. Now, I'm no expert, I have to say this, I'm not a doctor, but Liz and I have been looking at what the experts are saying, and the thing that stands out for us is that here in Ireland and in the UK, what isn't generally measured is the oxidized LDL. That's the really bad stuff, because that requires the blood to be spun or spun more or something to get that reading. The oxidized LDL is the smallest of the LDLs. It's the dangerous one. And put into the simplest terms that I can understand, it's the one that can get into the walls of your arteries and clog them up and put you in danger of high blood pressure, heart attacks and strokes, etc. And that's obviously not good. Now, in December, my LDL reading was 3.6 millimoles per litre. The recommended level for that one is below 3. Now today, my reading is 5.7. Well, is that bad? I'm going to say, but, and it's a very big but. Well, at least for me it used to be a very big but. That's just the total LDL. And what some leading researchers are saying now is a better guide to whether you've got the tiny nasty oxidized LDLs without spinning the blood is by dividing your triglycerides reading with your HDL reading. The HDL is so-called good cholesterol. And if that sum ends up with 0.8 or below, then you're definitely in the safe zone. If it's above 1.7, then you're in the danger zone. My triglycerides and HDL were both actually 1.4, so that's an easy sum to do. 1.4 divided by 1.4 is 1, and that puts me a little out of the completely safe zone, but nowhere near the danger zone, compared to December's calculation, which put me at 2.6, which is way into the danger zone. So I'm seeing that as a really huge result. I'm heading way into the right direction. My doctor says, and this is important, that we'll continue to monitor the LDL results. I get a blood test every 6 months anyway, so we'll continue to monitor that. He's completely aware of my keto and fasting lifestyle. We discussed it. He said that he's not going to prescribe statins now, like he would probably do if I was eating a lot of carbs and got that LDL reading. He did say I should eat a bit more oily fish, which he's absolutely right about. There's absolutely no argument in the medical community about that, because that will increase my HDL reading too, and probably lower my triglycerides, which will put me solidly into the safe zone. So again, I'm looking forward to the next blood test results in 6 months' time to confirm that. And I've already had some oily fish and some nuts since the blood test results. The oily fish and the nuts have omega-3 in them, and that's the important bit. We're going to discuss nuts and oily fish and omega-3s and omega-6s and omega-9s in a future video. Also, really good news is that all of my other blood test results, like iron, thyroid, and even the cancer tumour indicators, etc., were all within the good normal range, which is definitely worth celebrating. Now we come to the big reveal. What were my blood glucose readings today? Remember, with the fasting glucose, I was at 9.5 in December, and the normal range is up to 5.9, according to the printout that I have. And my reading today is, drum roll, 5.9. Yes! I'm going to do a little dance. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so that's still at the very high end of the normal range, and in the UK it's actually slightly into the pre-diabetes range, but compared to 9.5, that's a massive drop. And what that means is that I am a huge way down the road of beating my insulin resistance, which is fantastic news. And I am very, 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 very happy. But what about my A1C? This is the big one for me. This is the one that really tells you what's going on. Remember, my reading was 59 with the normal range between 20 and 42. And today's reading was 37. 30 bleeding 7. How awesome is that? I'm delighted. I'm cock-a-hoop. I'm over the moon. I'm almost emptying my bladder with joy. It's fantastic. And you know what? Behind my doctor's coronavirus mask, I could tell. I could tell he was smiling too. And even better, he asked me exactly how I did it and whether it was possible to Google keto and fasting. That's huge. Look, if I can get my doctor healthy, then I'd call that a bloody good result. Don't know about you. But that's amazing. Come on, get it together, Skatz. Get it together. So, did my doctor say that I was still a diabetic, or am I in the clear? Have I beaten it? Well, in this country, if you've been diagnosed once with diabetes, then you're a diabetic for life. So there's no way I can officially be told that I'm not diabetic anymore. Am I unhappy about that? Well, no, I'm still a diabetic, but I'm managing it, and I'll have to do that for the rest of my life. It also means that I can have access to free testing every 6 months of my blood, so that I can keep on managing it and keep on monitoring it and keep on speaking to my doctor, which is brilliant. That's good for my health, and it's good for the HSE, that's the health service in this country, because it's going to save them money in the long run if I am healthy. That's brilliant. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're fighting the same battle as me, it means that probably you can beat your type 2 diabetes too. I'm not going to say definitely, because let's face it, everyone is different. Everyone has lived different lives and eaten different things and has different DNA. And of course, you should consult medical professionals before you embark upon this kind of lifestyle. But what it does mean is that there is hope in turning the tide of the obesity epidemic and the diabetes epidemic, the heart disease epidemic, lots of other epidemics. One really important thing my doctor said after we discussed my results was that the only way to stop diabetes is by eating the right foods. The nutrition you put into your body is by far the most important thing. There are diabetes medications, of course, and they can help regulate your insulin, but the only true way to stop this awful condition is through food, good food, in the right amounts. If keto and fasting for me has proved anything, it's proved to be an amazing way of reversing my diabetes, and hopefully it can help you too. I really hope so. And if Liz and I can help you in any way, just ask in the comments below. Tell us about your blood test results too. Regale us with your successes and failures, and we will cheer and cry with you and help in whatever way we can. Now, we promised you a couple of things recently. One, that we would be doing a prolonged fast sometime soon, and that is looking like it's going to begin in the next few days, probably after the weekend. The second thing we promised was that we were going to do our first live stream. Now, we promised that about 3 weeks ago, and we've nervously been putting that off until the time is right and we felt confident, and until I got used to the new webcam, which I'm using right now, which you've probably guessed because there's a bit of a fisheye thing going on. What would be great is that we combine the two things and do a live stream right in the middle of our fast, or even towards the end of our fast, and you can ask us all about it. You can also ask us about anything to do with keto, fasting, our lifestyle, our keto dogs, Luna and Aggie, our music. We could even sing you one of our songs if you want. I know a lot of our friends are missing hearing us sing together, so I'm sure that would be nice. If you have any particular questions or topics you want us to talk about in this half-hour stream, then put them in the comments below and we will give you a shout out, or you can ask them on the day while we're doing the live stream. Tell us what's a good time of day for you, what time zone you're in, and your questions in advance, or just ask us them on the day. You'll be able to type them in. So that's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell, ding, so you can be notified of when the live stream starts or when we release a new video. Peace and love to you all, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.